those young men have stacked up their opportunities to play, number one, from the beginning of the season, having the opportunity to be in a second team, third team sometimes, to seeing the guys that are great examples up front, like a Slade for a Hansen, and Petro, who is a leader in himself, but he has driven himself based on what Beasley has done, what Pomashuk has done. Those guys have been examples for him, and everyone has an opportunity on a week-to-week basis, and they're playing to their strengths, and they're really coming in and being very confident, okay? And winning breeds that. That comes from our process as a defensive staff, being able to give them the pieces of the puzzle on a daily basis as we get ready for a team each week. Having an NFL coordinator and how he breaks things down and how we teach the kids in pieces, understanding that the detail part of their notes, all right, the game planning and really dialing in on the specifics of what they're going to see each week. And I think that's been a big thing for us in our process as a defense and as a team, that the note-taking, taking those examples and then going out in the field and being able to take your segment and understand what we're trying to do and what they're trying to do to adjust to us on the field. And that's what's been going on, that's for sure. Well, overall, we left a lot of sacks on the table, that's for sure. I'm going to tell you that right now, just when you speak of that. But we are gaining in a better position. Guys are knowing their strengths and what their best moves are, which allows us to be able to squeeze the quarterback up, and everybody just not doing willy-nilly, but understanding the concepts for each pass rush that we have and the protections that you're seeing has been a big part of that. And so that's been a pleasure, but being relentless about what they're doing. What I mean by that, finishing plays, not taking time off during the play, but understanding what you're getting and then executing out of it. And I think that's been the key for us, that guys are playing hard, they're starting to understand why, and that's why we're where we are now. Well, that is the expectation. You're talking about Kuba, Jacob. He has been the example on a week-by-week basis from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. He's in there in all crucial situations and really has how can I say it, rose to the occasion when the time was needed for a sack. And you can see that he has really grown and matured and become a team leader by example. And he's starting to lead vocally too. So yeah, we're proud of that. He's got great hands, and he just wants to continue to get better. And Beasley has been a big part of that, as you know. One of the big things is next is already here. And we got to do everything on a play-by-play basis, a game-by-game basis, and including we got to keep the outside noise out of it. We're not concerned about the rankings, and I'm not just talking just out of it. We're not concerned about that. We have to be concerned with the voices in the room, and what the voices in the room is, this is the next situation we're in, this is the next play that we need to understand, this is the next game, and how can we get there and find it and do it as a group. Okay, really do it together. Because yeah, like you said, each week changes. Okay, the dynamics of the group, the team we're going to see. So we try to make that, we create our own chapter in the book, and this is chapter 6. And so that's what we're looking forward to now. It has its own tendency, so we're getting ready for it. That's how we work. We got to work on next. Well, as a group, experience is a true teacher. We got a lot of experience from our head coach down, and us being here is a part of that. But we rely on each other, no different than the team players relying on each other. We rely on each other, understanding what we're seeing, and we have an open book in our meetings as far as the staff is concerned, and being able to ask questions of each other of how we would handle the situation. I mean, we leave our egos at the door too, okay? And that's what's been a good part of it. So we are being asked of how we create. We start the Big Ten East this week. How about that? How do you handle it? What's different with this group is they're new, younger, talented guys that have opportunities in front of them. Where we had a more veteran team back then, we got younger guys that are stepping forward now. But the examples are the same, but the thing about it is we're a younger group. The guys are maturing a lot faster, and they're taking coaching even better as a young guy and as an older guy. And that's what I see the difference is, but we're all in that winning culture and always trying to find different ways of adjusting and making it better. So we always work to be done, and we want to continue to chop, and that's what's the difference. We're continuing to chop consistently and changing it on a daily basis if need to be. I think it's a little bit of both, and understanding as the season continues on that everything does from the outside seems to get bigger, but from the inside we try to keep the status quo of what we need to do to get better. So we try to be as consistent as possible so we don't miss anything. We're constantly trying to find the next thing that's going to help us for this next game. I think it's been just the consistency of how we've handled it more importantly than anything. You don't want to be high, you want to be low, you want to be right there so you can see everything in front of you and continue to find things that are going to help you to get there, but stay on the same plane, and I think that's what we're doing right now. We know highs and lows. I think that's necessary. I use that for you guys, but more importantly, we're just honing in on the next game. And Rutgers is on the clock, and we have a bad taste in our mouth from when they were here last year with opportunities to win that game. And as you know the background on that. So we have enough right there in itself as we ride into the Big Ten East. It's getting ready for Rutgers. But we understand they'll be ready to play, and we want to take it one play at a time and go up there and have all pieces of the puzzle ready to go, playing complementary football and know how we want to execute. So we have enough in that itself. Rutgers on the clock. Well, I mean, that's just a piece of it. When you can, it allows you to do a lot more things, when you can create a lot more pressure with just 4. I mean, I think any team in the country would want to be able to do that. It allows you to be much more adjustable and pin your ears back. So it's relied upon, that's for sure. Percentage-wise, hey, what's given to you on that particular play as far as 4-man rush is concerned. But we have some tendencies where we've done a great job in that, but we want to continue to get better than that because that's only going to help us in the long run in our 4-man rush. Thanks for the information. I tend to have not been able to look at that, and thanks for that stat. We're not looking at that. We want to be able to understand that we can get better because all the missed opportunities that we've had, but we want to look at those stats at the end of the season. We just want to continue to get better and know what the weaknesses and strengths of teams so we can get better at our sack ratios. But thanks for that information, but I'm going to leave it alone until after the national championship. Well, when he's ready, we'll be ready. He's here every day. He's doing his job. He's a team leader. He doesn't miss anything. What he's done is a testament of what that young man is all about. And grad school, knowing he had to fight for everything and the opportunity as we sit in that back room right there, say to you, I'm going to come here as a preferred walk-on and earn that scholarship after having multiple scholarships anywhere he wanted to go here and around the area. I think it just shows you the maturity of that kid, and he's been the great example daily of where we want to go. Beasley has been a kid that shows his leadership verbally and then by example, and don't you worry, he's around and getting it done. Well, his production. I mean, run, pass, his ability to execute, being a quarterback of that defensive line, his understanding of the game, his in-game adjustments. He's the guy that's he's played a big part of that. He's working his butt off, and he's playing every game, and he's going to continue to get better. He'll be fine.